To some people, football is just sport. To some of us, football is life. I am one of them people. I love football. I love talking about football. It don't matter where you go in the world. You can go to a party, a barbecue. You can go on holiday to the other side of the world. You will always bump into someone that loves football, and you can just strike up a conversation. That is one thing I love about football. This is a new show that I will be bringing to you hopefully every week. It's called the Unbiased Premier League Review Show. And basically, it's me as a football fan just talking about the weekend's actions, the Premier League football. I've been lucky enough in my life that I've grown up mostly with the Premier League. It's what I've watched for most of my life. As you know, I'm a West Ham fan, so there was a couple of years that we was in the Championship. But even when I was in the Championship, we still watched it. Still watch the Premier League. It's the best league in the world. So for the rest of the season, I'm going to be bringing you this brand new show where I'm basically just me going through the weekend's action and talking about all the games, the talking points, the VAR, the red cards, the penalties, everything. The reason why we love football. So right, let's get straight into it because there are a lot of fixtures to go through. And on Saturday, the early kickoff, Liverpool travel to Wolves. Molineux is a tough place to go. Wolves haven't started the season great. But do you know what? I was really impressed with Wolves in this game, especially in the first half. I thought they started really well. Took the lead early on. Chan opened the scoring for Wolves after a great bit of work from Neto, who, can I just say, what a player he is, by the way. I know Wolves struggle to keep hold of their good players, but I think they're going to struggle to keep hold of him. What a player he is. And as I said, Wolves really started this game. They had a huge chance to put them 2-0 up. Great work once again down the left from Neto. And he delivered a great ball back post. And then Kuna, I don't know what he was thinking. You know, he was caught in two minds. I think he shut his eyes, took his eyes off the ball. But he's just misjudged the header. He's hit his chest. He headed it down and chested it down into the floor. And that would have put Wolves 2-0 up. And I can't say it would have been game over, but it would have been difficult for Liverpool to come back. But look, second half, Liverpool found another gear. They stepped it up. They went from second to third to fourth gear. Early goal just after half-time. Gakpo with a good finish at the back post. Mo Salah, good work. Smashed it across the front face of the goal. And a little tap in. But after that, Liverpool just dominated the game for me. Wolves had half chances. But once, it got to about the 80th minute, you think, look, can Wolves see this out? Can they get a great point at home against a Liverpool team? But no, Andy Robinson, once again, another assist from Mo Salah. Great finish from Robinson. Put Liverpool 2-1 up. And then that was it for me. Game over. Liverpool then got a third. Harvey Elliott. It did go down as an own goal, but look, being a local boy, it meant a lot to him. You see celebrations, but look, great result for Liverpool in the end. As I said, Wolves haven't started the season great. Gary O'Neill come in late during pre-season, so he's still trying to get his team set up. Wolves can take positives from the game. When you've got a player like Neto in the team who's going to create chances. But as you know, in the Premier League, you've got to take your chances. But yeah, great win for Liverpool. Liverpool going a bit under the radar. They're not really mentioned in the title chase. It's all Man City and Arsenal, but Liverpool are just going about their business. So they're going to be up there. But yeah, great win. Next up, we go to the first part of the late show in the Premier League this weekend. Aston Villa took on Crystal Palace at Villa Park. I thought it was a really good, entertaining game of football for the neutral to watch. Gets the run of play. Crystal Palace took the lead. Edouard, after a slip from Martinez, the goalkeeper. He was like Bambi on ice, wasn't he? I don't know what happened there, but yeah, he lost his footing. And Edouard was there to tap away. But look, when we say about the late show, Aston Villa left this late. And they equalised through Duran. And what a goal. What a goal. Listen, I love a volley. Who doesn't love a volley? But there's something sweet about a half volley. and the way he chested it down, little bounce, bang, and before the goalkeeper's even moved, it's in the roof of the net. What a great goal. And then afterwards, Aston Villa, 8th minute of injury time. Going to get used to this season with the lengthy injury times. Watkins was brought down in the box after a long VAR review. They got the penalty and Douglas Luiz tapped it away. The goalkeeper was standing there trying his best to put him off, clapping his hands like that, trying to put him off. But look, it was a great penalty. And then, look, even after that, Villa didn't want to leave it there. Leon Bailey with another goal to make it 3-1. And it's a great win for Aston Villa. Great win. And, as I said, a very, very entertaining game. Moving on. The next game, look, Fulham versus Luton. It's probably not a game that, unless you're a Fulham fan, you're probably not going to watch over and over again. But it was a 1-0 victory. But look, Luton had their chances in this game. Hit the post, they had their half chances. But this is the one thing that worries me about Luton this season. They haven't got the firepower. They haven't got the finishing product up front this season. I think this is going to be their downfall. It's a great ride for Luton being in the Premier League. They work so hard to get here. But yeah, it's games like this, that you think Fulham, going to Craven Cottage, Luton had a chance. But yeah, look, Fulham got the Vinicius 1-0 victory. Goalkeeper palmed it out to him. He was there, right place, right time. But as I said, I do worry for Luton. I think the record for the lowest points is Derby County. And was it 2007, 2008 season? I think they got 11 points. Luton don't want to beat that record. I am worried for Luton. I just can't see where they're going to get the results. But look, it's the Premier League. You never know. But look, they're going to enjoy the ride. Their fans are going to enjoy the ride. But yeah, great home win for Fulham. Moving on. What can I say? Manchester United at home to Brighton. Man United on and off the field are having problems. We all know that. But Brighton, what a performance from Brighton. What a win. Some great football from Brighton. They're a very exciting team to watch. Man United, as I said, look, they had their opportunities, but Brighton took the lead early on. Danny Welbeck against his former club. I think that's his 5th goal against United since he's left them. But yeah, great goal. And then look, get to half time, 1-0 down. Manchester United, you think, get the equaliser, hopefully get a win. But no, look, Brighton just took the absolute mick. Pascal Grobe, made it 2-0 after 53 minutes. And then, João Pedro puts them 3-0 up. And then you're thinking to yourself, no, this is taking a mick. This is taking a mick. The fans are turning on them. Ten Hag's got his head in his hands. He's took off their record signing, Højlund. When you need goals, you don't take off your goal scorer. Well, I say goal scorer, ain't scored yet, but someone who's a threat up front. Look, they did get one back late on, but they was never a threat, Man United, and it's worrying times for Manchester United. As a fan, you've seen as a young fan watching Man United growing up, they dominated, and then you've just seen the decline since over the last few years, and it's just it's not great times for Man United, but it's good times to be a Brighton fan. De Zerbi has got them playing good football. They're an exciting team to watch, and they're a team to watch out for. Look, they have got European football this season, so once that kicks in, it might affect them a bit playing on the Thursday and Sunday, but it's a joy to watch at the moment. Moving on to the second part of the late show, and this was the late show at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham taking on Sheffield United. Look, Sheffield United are another team. They've come up. They've got to take advantage of when they get them. When they get in the lead in games like this, late on as well, it was the 73rd minute when Harmer put them 1-0 up. And you think that it was going to be the manager of the month curse for Postecoglou. It usually happens. But look, as I said, Tottenham, going 1-0 down after 73 minutes. They bring on Richarlison in the 80th minute, who was left on the bench after a difficult week for him. But he was the difference in this game. He comes on, he gets the equaliser, and then he plays a part in the winning goal. He sets up Kulusevski in the what was it, the 100th minute, 101th minute. I think it went down as the latest goal in Premier League history. I think that record probably will be beaten this season. But look, it's a great result for Spurs. Great start to the season for them, unbeaten. But yeah, Sheffield United, unlucky. But late on in that game, McBurney got a second yellow, which was ridiculous. He was having his shirt pulled. He's turned around to the referee. All he's done is shown the referee, said, "Look, my shirt's being pulled," and then he gets a second yellow. But yeah, it's not great times for referees at the moment. They're coming under a lot of stick, and some of them deserve it. They're too card happy. They can't wait to show a yellow card or a red card, and I know they had a meeting before the season, but sometimes, look, all he done was just signalled, my shirt's being pulled. No need for the second yellow. But now they miss Sheffield United miss McBurney for the next game. Moving on to a game that I was at the weekend. As you know, I'm a West Ham fan. At the London Stadium, West Ham took on Manchester City. Two unbeaten teams going head-to-head. The pride of Europe going head-to-head. But look, at the end of the day, Man City were just that I say 2 levels above West Ham on the day. We had our chances. We was in the game. I'm not going to say that City, even though stats-wise and possession-wise and definitely shots-wise, they looked like they dominated the game, but it was a different story, when you're there. You can always go off stats and things like that, but it was a close game. We actually West Ham found themselves 1-0 up in this game, and it wasn't against a run of play either. Haaland missed a massive chance to put City 1-0 up, but great work down the right from Soufal, and James Ward-Prowse was there to head in. What a signing he's been for West Ham, by the way. 3 assists, 2 goals now. But look, Man City, you always had a feeling that they was going to get back into the game. And just after the half-time, while people were still downstairs eating their hot dog, drinking their beer, half-time pissed, the bubble machine was still going off. Man City equalised. Jeremy Doku, his first goal for Manchester City. What a player he is, by the way. Absolutely dominated the wing. Soufal got stuck in reverse because he was just backing off. And Doku with a great finish. But look, West Ham had a couple of chances to put themselves 2-1 up. Kurt Zouma with a great header from a corner. But Ederson, what a save. Great save. World-class save. There were some great saves in this game. Areola pulled off some great saves. But look, you had that feeling that Man City were gonna get that second goal, and it come from Bernardo Silva. A little mix-up between Aguerd and Areola. A little flick over the top. David Silva was there to knock it over Areola. And the one time you do want Haaland to touch the ball, he doesn't, because it would have been offside. But look, Haaland's left it. Man City are 2-1 up. And then, look, Haaland didn't have a great game, but he had his chances, and you always knew he was going to get a goal. He loves a goal against West Ham, and then he gets it. Bernardo Silva with the assist. Haaland with a great strike to put Man City 3-1 up, all 3 points heading back to Manchester. But West Ham can take a lot of positives out of that game. Moving on to the 5:30 kickoff, the late game that day, Newcastle took on Brentford at St James's Park. 1-0 win for Newcastle. Callum Wilson. It was a penalty by Callum Wilson. Should it have been a penalty? In my eyes, no. I thought it was very harsh. I thought Gordon was looking for it. The ball was running out of play. He's been clever, Don't get me wrong, he's been very clever in what he's done. But look, Brentford had their chances. Two good teams, going up against each other. It was always going to be a tight game between these two. But Newcastle took the points. And once again, controversy on the penalty. But it happens. It's football. It's, as I said, very clever by Anthony Gordon. And Newcastle take the 3 points. Moving on to Super Sunday. Be honest, goal-wise, it wasn't a Super Sunday, but the early game see Chelsea travel down to the south coast to take on Bournemouth. Chelsea have not had a great start to the season. As everyone knows, it's not a secret. Chelsea have spent £1 billion, a lot of money, new manager in Pochettino. He just can't seem to get it right at Chelsea at the moment. As 0-0s go, though, this was a very entertaining game. I did watch it. Sterling had a great chance, great free kick, hit the underside of the bar, bounced on the line. Chelsea needed the 66 Russian linesman because, without goal line technology, that probably would have been given a few years ago. It bounced back and Colwill, he smashed it in, but he was offside. So, it was the right decision. Bournemouth had their chances. Look, it's worrying times for Chelsea because you look at their bench and I think 6 out of the 9 substitutes are youngsters, and when you spend that much money, I know they've got injuries, but it's worrying times for Chelsea. They spent that much money and they didn't go out and sign a world-class striker, a recognised number 9, a goal scorer. Jackson's doing very well up front, but is he the answer? No. And as I said, Chelsea are, no Europe this season. You think that they would be, it's early days. We're 5 games into the season, a few wins and Chelsea would be up there, but they're struggling at the moment. And I just can't see where they're going to get that win from and who's going to drag them through these tough times. Later on in the day, Arsenal travelled up to Merseyside to take on Everton at Goodison Park. Now, this is a game where Arsenal do struggle. They haven't won there for a few years. And look, they got the victory. Trossard with a brilliant goal. I'm going to be honest. It was a great finish. Pickford had no chance. Pickford was picking that out of the back of the net. Arsenal deserved the game. Everton just sat back and they was hoping to maybe get something off of a free kick or a corner. A bit of luck goes their way. But look, Everton haven't started the season great. They're struggling. Sean Dyche. I think that I've seen a few of the fans already turning on him. I see a few fans ringing in on TalkSport, saying Graham Potter's available, get him now. Could he come there? And I think they need Harry Potter at the moment because nothing's really going right for them. But Arsenal, what's that old song? 1-0 to the Arsenal. These are the sort of games where Arsenal, give it away, struggle. But, they've got a good team at Arsenal. They're doing well. They're going to be up there come towards the end of the season. Last year, they threw it away. They just didn't have that extra bit towards the end of the season. But they definitely be up there. When you've got a team like they've got, when you've got players like Saka, Declan Rice, you're gonna do well. And Trossard, as I said, what a great finish, great goal. And 1-0 to the Arsenal. And to finish off the weekend, Monday night football, Nottingham Forest versus Burnley at the City Ground. Very entertaining game. A lot of talking points in this, VAR decisions, handballs, sending offs. But Burnley did find themselves 1-0 up just before half time. Amadou, with a great finish to put Burnley 1-0 up. Burnley obviously looking for their first points of the season. But look, Nottingham Forest were always in the game. You always felt they was going to create chances. And Hudson-Odoi, a man that many people forgot about. A couple of years ago, he was being linked with big money moves and he's found himself, starting a new life at Nottingham Forest. And what a way to announce yourself at the City Ground with an unbelievable finish. A great strike. But the talking points were late on in the game. Burnley had one ruled out for handball, very harsh. But look, handball's handball. You know, a couple of years ago, that probably wouldn't have been given. But yeah, and then at the end, sending off, a stupid red card from Lyle Foster. You know, a bit of tussling in the box, throwing his elbows about. Look, you get away with that in the Championship, Foster, but in the Premier League, there's cameras everywhere. Everyone's got eyes on you. And look, it's one of them things, but now Burnley are going to be missing him, missing an important player for them. Vincent Kompany, probably not the start of the season that he wanted. A lot of people thought that Burnley was going to be a surprise package at the start of the season because Vincent Kompany had them playing very good football in the Championship. But that's the difference between the Championship and the Premier League. You can't come and go toe to toe, and every game is difficult, whether you're playing the top team or the bottom team. So, yeah, look, it was that was the roundup for match day 5 in the Premier League. Some great games of football, some great goals, and that leads me on to the awards. The awards of the weekend. So, the goal of the weekend. Look, I think we can all agree on this. It's got to be Duran from Aston Villa. As I said, everyone loves a volley, but sometimes half volleys are just that much sweeter. And I thought it was a great, the timing of the goal as well, but the power, the finish, everything about it. So Duran gets my goal of the weekend. The performance of the weekend, look, there was a couple of good games there. The late show at Villa. The late show at Spurs. Liverpool with a great away day victory. Man City. But I'm going to give it to. I'm going to go for Brighton. I thought Brighton. Going to Old Trafford. It don't matter what Manchester United team you play. Old Trafford is always a difficult place to go to, and the way they dominated the game. 3 great goals, and well deserved. And I thought they were the performance of the weekend. Player of the weekend, I am going to go for, as I said, once again, some outstanding performances, but I'm going to go for Jeremy Doku of Manchester City. As I said, I was at the game. I thought he was great. What a prospect this boy is, 21 years old. I think he's got a great season ahead of him. Gets his first goal in Manchester City colours. And yeah, I just thought he was outstanding, and he's going to get my player of the weekend. Now, for the award that no one wants to win, it's the flop of the weekend. And I'm probably going to give this as a joint winners this week. And I'm going to go for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. I thought Ten Hag at the moment, as we know, Manchester United are having their problems off the field and on the field. He just can't seem to get it right. Wrong substitutions. Crowd are starting to turn on him. And, a few more dodgy defeats. And who knows? He could find himself, I wouldn't say he's out of a job because he is a good coach, but this is the Premier League. And you know what? Manchester United, the board at Man United don't like it when the fans turn on them. But yeah, so the flop of the weekend is going to be Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. And that is, the joint. So that was match day 5. Some great games, some great goals. As we controversial decisions, penalties, VAR, red cards. It's what we love about the Premier League. It's got a mix of everything. But let's have a quick look. I'm just going to bring up the Premier League table. So as you can see, Manchester City, 5 wins out of 5 at the top of the table, closely followed by Tottenham, Liverpool and Arsenal on 13 points. Brighton, into the top 5. West Ham slipped to 6. Villa, Nottingham Forest, Palace and Fulham complete the top 10. Brentford slipped down to 11th. Newcastle down to 12th. Look at that, 13th and 14th. Manchester United and Chelsea. Oh, our times have changed. But it's difficult times for them clubs. And just to complete the bottom of the table, Bournemouth and Wolves in 15th and 16th. Sheffield United just outside the bottom three on goal difference. And in the bottom three, Everton, Burnley and Luton with no points. One positive Luton can take, they are the strongest team in the Premier League at the moment because they are holding the rest of us up. But look, as I said, great weekend of football. Let's have a look at no surprise here, top goal scorer so far, Erling Haaland. The geezer is an absolute animal, a machine. He just can't stop scoring. He hasn't, I wouldn't say he's had a great start to the season performance-wise, but he's just there and he's a goal scorer, and that's what goal scorers do. And 7 goals in 5 games already. I'm sure that when I do this chart every week, he's just going to be top all the time. It's going to be interesting to see if anyone can get close to him. But yeah, look, you have a little look there. There's some Edward, Ferguson, Jared Bowen's in there, He Chan, Solly March, Callum Wilson, some names that you don't usually see on that list. It'd be interesting to see if any of them are there before the end of the season. At the end of the season, but one name we know will be up there is Erling Haaland. So moving on, match day 6 next week. There are some great games to look out for on Saturday. 3:00 kickoffs. Crystal Palace take on Fulham in a London derby. Wolves travel to Luton. Luton will be looking to get their first points of the season. And if there is a game where they could get their points, it could Wolves at home is probably a good game for them. Nottingham Forest are the team this weekend looking to stop Manchester City as they travel to the Etihad. The 5:30 game this week, Brentford take on Everton. I think that, do you know what? I think that is going to be a really interesting game, a good game to look out for. Everton under pressure, Brentford, good footballing team, good at home. And then Saturday night, what a treat this is. Saturday night football, 8:00. Take your missus down the pub, pretend she's going out for a nice meal, but really you're going down the pub to watch Burnley versus Man United. This will be a very difficult game for Manchester United. Travelling to Burnley under pressure. Burnley are looking for their first win of the season. And do you know what? I think they might get it. It's going to be as I said, difficult game. Super Sunday this week is a proper Super Sunday. Look at that. North London derby. Both the North London teams, Arsenal and Spurs, are in fine form. So this is going to be a very entertaining game. I say that. It's probably going to be a 0-0, but I doubt it. Brighton, South Coast derby. Brighton versus Bournemouth. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. That will be a very difficult game for Chelsea. Villa, as I said, great victory at the weekend. But Chelsea need to get a win under their belts. And then a game that I am going to, I'll be travelling up to Liverpool. Liverpool take on West Ham at Anfield. Not a great hunting ground for West Ham. I think we've won there once in the last 60-odd years. But there was a lot of positive to take from the Man City game. So it's a game I'm looking forward to. And then to finish off the weekend, a right treat for you. Look, no disrespect to Sheffield United and Newcastle fans. I know you need to be on the telly. But Villa and Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool, not on the telly. But look, we can't have it all our own way. You know what I mean? To me, I'm going to the game, so it don't really bother me. But Newcastle travel to Bramall Lane to take on Sheffield United for 4:30 kickoff. And that will, round up the weekend fixture. No Friday night football, no Monday night football this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday games. But look, as I said, this is a new show that I'll be bringing to you every week after every match day. I'm looking forward to doing it. There will be some improvements. This was just a pilot show. Please give me your feedback. I know this opens the avenues for a lot more fans to get involved, a lot more fans from other clubs. I'm expecting a bit of abuse because I am talking about, obviously, your team. But look, I'm just talking about football. I see it. I'm not a West Ham fan, or I am a West Ham fan, but during this show, the claret and blue, rose tinted glasses comes off, and I just talk about football because, as I said at the beginning of the show, I love football. I love talking about football, and it's a show that I am looking forward to doing for the rest of the season. So yeah, leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel, even if you're not a West Ham fan. Join us. We do some good content on this channel. But yeah, I'll leave it there. And until match day 6, I will see you all next week. Thank you.